I'm Shannon Green, and I'm with at Chronic Pain Austin. So this is my Facebook page. I post a number of articles and videos on Facebook and YouTube dealing with wellness, life hacks, supplements, holistic approaches. I have several Guillain-Barre videos, which is also called GBS. Disability, which is what this video is going to be about. So here's what we are going to cover in this short video on filing for disability. So I'll hold that up there for a second. So I have just received in the last 2 months my disability back pay and my current monthly payment. So I want to talk about it is a long and tedious process to file for disability on the U.S. Social Security government website. It's a very lengthy process. So the first thing I want to talk about is a lot of people say, do you get a lawyer? Do you do it yourself? You know, what's the best way to approach it? What I've heard and done in my research and even talked to people that have worked for Social Security, they typically say the first time you file, you most likely will get denied, especially if you're under the age of 50. So it's not necessary to get a lawyer this first time, but when you make an appeal, then they suggest getting a lawyer when you make that appeal, which would be the second time they're reviewing your case. And the good news is the second review during your appeal is a whole set of different people looking at the medical records. So it's a completely different panel of people. So it is more objective in that way. I went with a non-lawyer firm. They're considered a disability specialist firm, and it's called ALLSUP, ALLSUP. And you can just go to Google and find their website. So they actually did all the paperwork for me. They have forms on their site. You fill out all your doctor's visits, all your conditions, a lot of paperwork, but they do all of the forms, and then they send via fax or electronic fax the information over to Social Security. So they are the intermediary, so you don't have to talk to Social Security directly. So I highly recommend them, but realize it does, especially if you have a lot of medical records, it can take, in my case, it took about 14 months before I had a decision whether it was a yes or no. So it is a very lengthy process. And the starting point is to have your doctor fill out a form that says you're disabled. And you can find that on the socialsecurity.gov website. And many doctors, they can print it out for you there in their office. They have done that many times. So finding at least one, if not 2 or 3 doctors that will verify that you're disabled, that's your number one starting place. If you can't find that, then the likelihood of you getting approved is much smaller. So I talked about ALLSUP. So in my case, they say on standard it takes 6 months to a year before you get an answer. And then the back pay, you are eligible for back pay. But they have it's weird, a 5-month window where the date, like I was disabled September of 2015, but according to Social Security, so I had to wait 5 months after that September 2015 date. So they give you basically get screwed out of 5 months of pay. So it's kind of a complicated algorithm that they have. I don't know. I was disappointed about that. I kind of felt I should have had that extra 5 months, but ALLSUP did not recommend going back and trying to get that 5 months. She said that typically, it just doesn't happen very often. I want to talk about my age. I'm 42, so that is young for disability, but I have both a mental defect and a physical defect. So they took into consideration both the mental and the physical, and it was a combined decision that led them to consider me disability. disabled, sorry. I have depression, anxiety, and PTSD, from which, I have years of going to psychiatrists and counselors. So, I had all the backup and all the paperwork. And I've saved my medical records, receipts. That's critical that you save all your medical records, put them in a 3-ring binder. I highly recommend that. Because it's a lot of paperwork. You have to, and then they want to see copies of MRIs, X-rays. So it's a lot. And sometimes they asked questions about doctors I'd seen years and years ago, and I had trouble remembering even what the doctor's name was. I saw them once and never went back. So it's really good to keep detailed records. That's going to make a huge difference and make the process go a lot smoother. So anyway, if you have any questions about filing for disability in the United States, just leave me some comments, either under this video or again at the Facebook at Chronic Pain Austin. Thank you for watching. Have a blessed day.